Take a walk down by the sea, picking up colored shells in the sand.
Very long in Puerto Vita, the Cuban government closed down all ports, all marinas, and kicking out all the tourists. So they came to my boat around 9 o'clock this morning and said, "You gotta leave." I said, "Wow, is it something that I did?" And no, all tourists, all boats must leave. So I'm sailing off to West Palm Beach. It's a 3-day sail. I usually don't do long passages like that, but I got no choice. I'm not gonna head east back to Dominican Republic because that one's closed. So Florida, here I come. Well, I just got the mainsail up right now. I might put the jib out. Got plenty of wind here, over 25 knots. So anyways, the main seems to be pushing me along pretty good. If I keep this speed up, I will get to Florida less than 3 days. So I was asking a lady at the marina what's happening in the province of Holguin, and she said, yeah, there was a couple of tourists that got coronavirus. One Canadian that was actually in the same hotel that we stayed 2 days, and the hotel didn't even warn us that there was a case. And that particular Canadian was in Holguin at the, I forget now the name of the hotel, Rio de Sol, I don't know what it was. Anyways, my wife picked it out because she said it was the best. And wow, scary. Anyways, we spent a lot of time in our room. And that particular tourist is in the hospital right now, and apparently he's in critical condition, according to the lady who's working at the marina right now. Looks like it's going to be an uncomfortable sail. I'd like to say that the waves are on starboard quarter, but the way the boat is rocking right now, it's pretty rough. And I don't like this motion at all. But what can you do? It's going to be like this today, and then I think it might calm down a little bit tomorrow, and maybe colder, according to Chris Parker. We'll see. My plan was to go to Veradero, but since all the marinas and ports in Cuba are closed now, and they basically kicked out all the tourists. Probably a smart thing, but wow, it was kind of a head shaker when they came to my boat this morning and said, "Go up to the marina, we have a message for you." And I thought, oh my goodness, this is serious. I thought maybe something happened with Maite, and I haven't had any communications with her because the phone is turned off, I guess. I don't know what's happening with it. I'm feeling fine. The doc came yesterday, took my temperature, and he says it's perfect. So, yeah. I don't know. Hopefully she's okay. She's got masks, 95 masks, so I'm hoping that comes in handy for her. And I hope this gets settled out globally, because as soon as I get back to Canada, if I can somehow make it back there for the summer, she wants to fly back to Canada. But right now, it's impossible. No flights. Just no flights. All the Canadians, I think, have been evacuated, or most of the Canadians. It's so rough right now. Well, it is a nice day, and I looked on Windy. It was difficult to get any internet access for my cell phone, so couldn't get my Chris Parker emails this morning, but he did say that it would be a brisk sail today, and then tomorrow would calm down for 2 days. So I'm going into the Gulf Stream. But anyways, I did check windy and I didn't see anything. No huge squalls coming. No nasty weather from what I could see on windy. And that was from the marina computer. It's like $1 an hour or $1 CUC an hour. So I was able to check that at least, and then I did post something on Facebook stating I was heading to Florida. Hope to land in West Palm Beach. Unfortunately, I do not have a cell phone that will work in Cuba or Florida. The SIM is from the Dominican Republic, doesn't work there. So that means I can't use my Roam application to my land. So I'm gonna have to go old school and use VHF to communicate with them, tell them what the story is. The Roam, I did call Customs and Border Protection 2 days, maybe 3 days ago, and asked him if, as a Canadian vessel, can I land in Florida. He said, yeah, no problem. Whether or not that changes, who the hell knows? Like, I'm in a kind of in a black hole, and I didn't have time to go on the internet and check Customs and Border Protection again, because things change. The government's just, they want to protect their borders. I know they've closed the Canadian-US border on the north side, and the last I heard they were doing the same, or they were talking about the Mexican-US border, which makes sense. But I hope I can get into an international port and land there. May end up doing a 14-day quarantine. That'll suck. And since I don't have internet on my cell phone or any data on my cell phone, I'm going to be going nuts. Oh, well, it is what it is. Maybe I should have stayed in DR, but the people in DR are kind of isolated too. I think they'll let you leave, but you can't come back in. Or if you come in, you're under a 14-day quarantine. The last time I looked on Facebook, I'm a member of a Facebook group, and that's what was posted. Well, it's getting late in the day, first day after leaving Puerto Vita. The wind was quite strong when I left, but it's calmed down now. Apparent wind is maybe 15 knots, so I'm lucky if I get averaging 6.5, 7 knots. I don't really want to put a lot of sail up, full jib and double reef in the main. And I just want a comfortable trip. I don't really want to have a race here, but it would be nice to get to West Palm Beach in 2 days. Let me see. Once I get in the Gulf Stream, I should get pushed up the coast with an extra maybe 2 knots, maybe. Not really sure how fast that's going to be. I guess the stronger current is in the center, so I do have some waypoints at this part where it's at. So I got those in actually my cell phone here. And yeah, I'll probably try and get centered in there and beeline it for the center as best I can. I did radio another large cargo ship that was heading west. He was going to Miami, and I asked him if the ports were open or closed, and he says they're open, but he said his crew had to stay on board. And I guess he goes there every week, so I'm not sure where he transports the stuff. Maybe he's one of those delivery captains for Puerto Rico. And he says it might be different for different ports, so I'm not going to Miami. I'm trying to get to West Palm Beach because Lake Worth has some anchorages. Now, I am having problems with my windlass, so hopefully maybe tomorrow I'll try and work on that. I don't know, it's been intermittent, and I thought it was just the remote and remote up the bow. But my other wireless remote is not working, so I don't know what is going on with that. I don't know if it's the motor or if it's the controllers. I gotta get that straightened out. It's quite serious. I can't stay at a marina at West Palm Beach because it's $3.75 a foot at some of these places. It's crazy. Nuts. Just gotta get that fixed up. Anyways, that's what's going on. I'm really happy that I purchased the Vesper 8000 AIS. It's been just amazing. Just now, I discovered that I'm on a collision course with this huge cargo vessel heading to Puerto Vita, and he's beelining it straight towards me at 17 knots. So the AIS tells you the boat name, so I radioed the boat. Asked him if he would like to do a port to port or starboard to starboard pass, because it looked like he was going to cut me off on the bow. But anyways, he said I'll change course, so we're going to do a port to port, and I think he's about 5 miles away now. So yeah, the Vesper also has the collision detect feature. It'll go off pretty soon. There's a built-in alarm. Just depends the sensitivity you adjust on the app. But I must have it set for 5 miles. He's getting pretty close to that 5-mile limit, and then my alarm would go off. But even just to see all the boats around me on avionics on the cell phone is tremendous. So yeah, I'm really happy that I purchased that, because there are some ports in the United States that you need to depart early in the morning. It's still dark and you can't see nothing. It's crazy, especially when you're looking through these vinyl windows, plexiglass, whatever you want to call it. It's hard to see anything, and which happened to me already when I was going to Bahamas from, I don't know, when I was leaving Charleston, and there's some big ships that go in there. Well, there's that ship that I was talking to earlier, heading to Puerto Plata. Probably a mile away from me. It's day 2, trip from Cuba to West Palm Beach. Last night was pretty interesting because at some points I was surfing down waves at, I think I was exceeding 10 knots. And then of course it would slow down to about 7 and then back up to 10. So the waves were fairly huge and the winds were strong. They picked up for a while, quite a few hours. They might have died off a bit, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Right now it's calm. I got about 12 knots apparent from the port starboard. Sorry, the port quarter, and I need to make a turn to stay in this Bahama channel, or I think it's called the Old Bahama channel. I was looking at Navionics, and I know why they have it, because it gets pretty shallow if you just continue straight over to Florida. There's some real shallow spots, so definitely want to avoid that. So I'll stay in the Old Bahama channel, and then make a turn towards West Palm Beach. I got about 280 miles to go. It's gonna take me, at this speed, it'll take me 2 more days. So So I don't want to arrive too early in the morning, so I need to keep it down to about 6 knots average. Once I hit the Gulf Stream, that's going to be a problem because I'm going to be doing a lot more knots. I'll probably be doing 8 knots, maybe even more. So I'll have to take down some sail. Well, I do see some huge clouds behind me, but hopefully they don't catch up to me. They look kind of like a squall, so I don't really need that right now. The sun's out, and hopefully that cloud dissipates or moves off. Well, good morning. It's day 2 of my trip to West Palm Beach. It was an interesting night. The waves were fairly large, and the wind picked up. Over 20 knots. Almost lost my coffee. And at some points I was surfing down waves. I think I was doing over 10 knots. So I made some great distance last night. So I think I have 280 nautical miles to go. So I want to try and do that over 2 days. And I don't want to arrive before daylight in West Palm Beach. I gotta anchor because the friggin' marinas are so expensive there. It's like anywhere from $5 to $7 a foot. And that's just not something I want to do. I'll buy fuel and get water from the marina, but I don't think I can afford to stay there very long. So I got to find a good anchorage in Lake Worth, which is West Palm Beach. I did stay there when I came down to Florida from Canada originally, and it was okay. Except for 1 or 2 nights, the wind really picked up and scared the crap out of me. Because I thought I was starting to drag into shore. Another boat actually did drag into shore, and I don't know how he got his boat out, but he managed to back it out. He didn't have sea tow, so there's nothing I could do with my little dinghy. So, really getting concerned. I've been in a black hole sailing for 24 hours and then back at the marina in Cuba for 2 days with no information. I didn't get any information about what's happening in the US. Hopefully everything is starting to we're starting to get this COVID-19 under control. It's like something out of a science fiction movie, what we're experiencing now. It's just totally unbelievable, really it is. I don't know what's going to happen to me when I get to West Palm Beach. Hopefully they will clear me in, and if I must be quarantined, I must be quarantined. But I'm feeling fine. I mean, a little bit tired, but I've been good. Thank goodness. Because there's some horror stories, like the guy that was at our resort in Cuba. He is in critical condition now, so it's kind of scary how this COVID-19 can affect some people really drastically, and others mild symptoms, or like a bad flu. I haven't had a flu in years, but I'm not looking forward to getting this COVID-19. I suppose 60 or 70% of us will eventually get it. Unfortunately, some aren't going to make it. Well, I just got off the radio with a vessel called Driftwood. I had hailed him earlier and asked him if he had any information on any port closures in Florida, because he was going to Fort Lauderdale, and he hadn't heard anything, but he suspected that there was a possibility of port closures at the end of the week. So I was a bit concerned. I told him it was going to take me another 2 days to get to Florida. So he just hailed me back about 5 minutes ago and said that he talked to somebody on land. I think he said it was a broker or something. And the seaports are still open, but he said the marinas and the marine services are shut down in Miami-Dade County. So, yeah, so I won't have any services. I guess if I need gasoline, assuming that I can get cleared in, I would have to hoof it to the gas station. Yeah, so that is an update. I guess that is probably a good idea to start closing things down. But I really hope I can sneak in under the wire and at least clear in. And if I have to spend the next couple of months on my boat in Florida, so be it. But I do want to get north. And hopefully things get stabilized for the stupid coronavirus. Well, it's day 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's actually a very comfortable sail right now. There might be 12 knots of wind. And now I've got both sails up, so I'm doing about 6 knots, sometimes 7. If I can average about 6 knots, I should arrive in West Palm Beach on Wednesday during the morning or afternoon. I'm not sure what kind of conditions I'm going to get on the Gulf Stream. The last time I looked at windy, the winds were coming from the southeast, and that would be okay. And then with the Gulf Stream, I'd probably be doing like 8 knots, which might be a little bit too fast, so I might have to take some sails down. Right now the wind is coming more from the east, and I'm hoping it swoops up along the Florida coast as I get closer there. I haven't done this part of the Gulf Stream, so I really don't know the conditions, and I could not get a hold of Chris Parker because I don't have a transmitting SSB or internet when I left Cuba, so just can't get the updates. But anyways, it is supposed to be calm conditions, so whatever happens. At least it won't be blowing 20 knots, 30 knots. It's supposed to be somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 the last time I checked. So let's hope that stays that way. Otherwise, I'm in for a bumpy ride, I guess. Good morning, it's day 3 sailing from Cuba to West Palm Beach. Tried to get my SSB receiver working today, and I could not listen to the Chris Parker broadcast for the Gulf Stream crossing. It really sucks, the stupid Tucson. I believe it's the portable antenna that's giving me the problem. It's one of these wind-up antennas that usually I wrap it around the backstay, and I have had success in the past, although kind of a weak signal. I could barely hear Chris Parker. So I wouldn't rely on these Tucsons unless you got a good antenna for it. But I did manage to contact another large vessel. It was a recreational vessel, and I guess he has access to internet via sat phone or something, because he said looks like the crossing's pretty good. So he's just off my starboard right now, and he's doing a straight shot to West Palm Beach as well. He'll be traveling over 10 knots, and I'm at 6 knots if I'm lucky right now. I'm not actually in the Gulf Stream right yet, but I'm pointed in that direction. I'll be getting there probably in the next 12 hours. From my understanding anyways. I don't know where the east wall is, but I did get some coordinates for the center of the Gulf Stream and the west wall of the Gulf Stream. So I'm just pointed right straight at West Palm Beach right now. So there'll be a lot of time I'm going to be spending in the Gulf Stream. At this rate right now, I might get there around 10 in the, tomorrow. But once I get in the Gulf Stream, I should be flying pretty good. And I may even have to motor if the wind dies. So I'm looking forward to getting to the States. I'm already enjoying some of the radio broadcasts, FM and AM broadcasts, just getting some information on what's happening in the States right now. I guess there's more deaths. The deaths are in the triple digits, and I think it's up to, I'm not sure how many people are infected right now, but the deaths are, I think it's over 400. So they're saying right now it's about 1% people die from it in the States, but they're still having problems getting everybody tested who wants to be tested. So I guess I'm going to just cross my fingers and hopefully I can clear in and have access to a store where I can get an AT&T SIM card. Otherwise, I'll have no communication. SIM card and gasoline, that's really what I need to survive for the next 2 weeks. Maybe some groceries. I do have some staples on board. But I do like to go to the restaurants, and that will probably be takeout, if at all. West Palm Beach in Lake Worth has 2 public docks. If I can sneak in there, find a good anchoring spot, I would have access to downtown. They have Starbucks and a couple of pizza restaurants, so I could probably survive on that. But I'll have to see what the Florida laws are right now. Still need to get more information. Well, I have a little more than 100 miles to go yet. There's hardly any wind, maybe 5 or 6 knots of wind. I tried sailing, and the sails, I was doing 5 knots with a little bit of the current. So it wasn't fast enough. So, and the sails were flogging a lot. So it's noisy and uncomfortable. Well, not really uncomfortable, just noisy. I mean, the ocean right now is almost flat calm. There's just half a foot of wave or something. So anyways, good conditions for motoring. So I'm motoring now, but I can't go over 1,000 RPMs because that would mean I would arrive too early. So I'm motoring at 1,000 RPMs, which isn't good for a diesel engine. It likes to be worked. So I guess maybe every hour I can crank up the RPM, hopefully burn off any carbon buildup, and then idle back down. I haven't even got into the serious current yet. Once I get into the center of the Gulf Stream, I should be going an extra maybe 2 knots. I'm not sure how fast that. I've never ridden down the center of the Gulf Stream going north, so I don't know what I get out of that. But I guess I can't complain. It's better to have calm conditions in Moore than crazy conditions with north wind against the Gulf Stream, and I think they call those elephants. If you get opposing wind to the Gulf Stream, basically you're going to be flying over elephants, and that's not something that I would ever want to do. So I'm happy with this, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the US of A, because I need some unlimited internet. I just realized something. I haven't seen an airplane in a long time, and then I just looked up 15 minutes ago, and there was one airplane. I don't know if it was military or what, but it was a single jet propelled airplane, and it was flying over, I guess, Miami. I don't know what's happening with the airlines right now, but I would assume people don't want to fly because the fear of catching the virus. So yeah, it's an interesting observation because usually there's a lot of planes flying around, especially in a congested area like Florida. You know, I've seen one. Well, I've finally arrived at West Palm Beach. I'm just entering the inlet now. A lot of boaters out here, fishermen heading out, and just a couple sailboats just doing some day sailing, I guess. I could be wrong. They're heading north. So maybe they're trying to get out of Florida. I don't know. But I'm happy to be here. I did try to radio Customs and Border Protection, but I guess they don't respond to VHF. Cell phone only. So I guess I'm just gonna go throw anchor and try to find some Wi-Fi and contact them via their roll map. Doesn't sound right. I mean, I came up the coast and nobody bothered me. Coast Guard didn't radio me. Nobody. So, it seems like there's more security at the physical borders than at the ocean borders. I don't get it. One thing I noticed last night was there was certainly a lot of drone activity. I could not believe the amount of drones out there. Unless it was spaceships, but no. These were drones. They had, I think there were red and green flashing lights on them. And it looked, I couldn't believe how long they were staying out there. It looked like there was at least 8 over by Miami. I don't see any drone activity this morning. There are some huge yachts here, but the price to moor it in West Palm Beach is expensive. Lots of boats here, anchored. I'm not used to this tight ICW in Lake Worth here. Maybe 200 feet or, yeah, maybe 200 or 300 feet between the red and the greens. It's amenity zone, so idle speed. Up ahead is a bridge. I have to wait for that. I believe it should be opening at 8:45, so I'm going a little bit too fast. Navionics is great because it tells you an ETA to the bridge opening if you figure out how to use it.
Take a walk down by